Turn rejection into revenge. Rejection hits hard, it burns, it lingers. It makes you question everything you're worth, your talent, your direction. But here's the truth. Rejection is not the end, it's the spark. The beginning of something greater. If you let it be, every no you hear is fuel. Every door slammed in your face is not a wall, it's a test. A chance to dig deeper, get sharper, and come back stronger than ever. Revenge isn't about getting even. It's not about hurting the ones who doubted you. It's about building yourself so high, so uncheckable, that their doubt becomes your proof. Use that pain. Don't hide from it, channel it. Let it mold you, discipline you, and force you to grow into the version of yourself that rejection couldn't see coming. The one that doesn't ask for permission anymore. When you feel overlooked, don't complain, prepare. Don't cry, train. Don't beg, build. Most people take rejection personally. Winners take it professionally. They learn, they adapt, they evolve, because they know something most people forget. Rejection is a mirror. It shows you where you're weak, but it also reveals where you need to go. Rejection separates the average from the elite. The average fold, the elite, they flip the script. They walk back into the world 10 times sharper, louder, hungrier. Their silence becomes success. Their results become their revenge. Don't waste your energy trying to prove them wrong with words. Prove them wrong by doing what they never believed you could. Let your work scream louder than their doubts ever did. Remember, rejection is redirection. It's the universe pointing a spotlight at your blind spots. And you've got two choices: break down under the pressure, or break through it and dominate the arena they tried to keep you out of. Every time they said you weren't good enough, that was a seed. Water it with discipline, feed it with hunger, grow it with action. Because in the end, success is the only response that matters. The people who rejected you, they'll watch, they won't admit it. They might stay silent, but they'll see you, and deep down, they'll know they were wrong. Not because you told them, but because you showed them. That's real revenge, not petty, not loud, just undeniable. You didn't just survive the rejection, you used it to build an empire. That job that turned you down, that person who walked away, that opportunity that slipped through your fingers, none of it was a loss. It was fuel, a brutal lesson wrapped in purpose. You're not broken, you're battle tested. You're not behind, you're being built. And when the time is right, when you're ready, you won't knock on the door again, you'll kick it off the hinges. So don't seek comfort, seek power. Don't ask why it happened, ask what it built inside you. Because the sharpest weapons are forged in the hottest fire. And if you're still burning, good. That means your weapon isn't ready yet, but it will be. Keep grinding. Keep showing up. Keep building in silence. Let every scar remind you this isn't the end. It's the foundation. You don't need their approval anymore. You don't need their support. You've got something far more dangerous. A reason. A mission. A fire they can't put out. So, when they reject you again, and they will, smile. Because you already know what happens next. You level up. You don't retreat. You reload. You turn every doubt into drive. Every closed door into a wall you climb and conquer. They wanted you to give up. They expected silence, disappointment, maybe even failure. But you turned their expectations into your execution plan. Because here's the truth. Rejection is the universe asking, how bad do you really want it? And your answer isn't words, it's action. It's staying up late while they sleep. It's showing up early while they waste time. It's choosing discipline over comfort, hunger over excuses. You don't get to the top by being liked. You get there by being relentless. Rejection builds that grit. It strips away the fluff. It forces you to focus on what matters: progress, the sweat, the sacrifice, precision, purpose. They won't understand how you kept going. They won't see the hours. All they'll see is the result. And that's what makes it beautiful. You turn silence into strategy. You turn pain into purpose. You turned rejection into results. You didn't just bounce back, you came back with force, with vision, with fire in your chest and steel in your spine. So, when they whisper again, he's not ready. He doesn't have what it takes. He's just another nobody. Smile and keep moving. Because you know exactly what you're becoming, a problem they can't ignore. You're not chasing validation anymore. You're chasing mastery, power, freedom, but through pressure. You've learned the lesson most people never do. You don't need a green light to move. You don't wait for permission to rise. You build in the dark until the spotlight has no choice but to find you. That's how kings are made. Not through applause, not through handouts, but through heartbreak. Every time life said no, you answered with "watch me." Now the tables are turning. You're sharper, faster, more dangerous, and the world is starting to notice. You walk differently now, shoulders back, head high. You speak with weight. You carry that quiet, focused energy that makes people pay attention because you've been through it. You've taken the hits, and you kept going. That's what makes you unstoppable. Rejection didn't break you, it revealed you. It peeled back the layers and exposed the warrior underneath. Now it's your move. Build bigger, move smarter, attack harder. This is more than just a comeback. This is war, and you're not here to survive, you're here to dominate. So keep going, keep rising, keep turning every no into another reason to go harder. Because the only thing more powerful than being accepted is becoming undeniable when they can't ignore your presence. When your name holds weight without needing to be spoken. When your work, your results, your growth speak so loud, it silences every doubt they ever had. This is what revenge really looks like. Not ego, not noise, just results. Quiet, calculated, consistent execution. You're not in this to impress, you're in this to rise, to prove to yourself that rejection wasn't your ending, it was your ignition. You see, rejection exposes two types of people, those who crumble, and those who build. You chose to build, brick by brick, hour by hour, day by day, and while they were watching, laughing, doubting, you were working, sharpening the blade, stacking the wins they couldn't see coming. Now you've got momentum, you've got purpose, and most importantly, you've got leverage. Because when you build yourself from nothing, you fear nothing. Not rejection, not failure, not judgment. You've already faced the worst and you turned it into fuel. So don't slow down now. This isn't the time to be satisfied. This is the time to be savage, because the higher you go, the more they'll try to pull you down. But they can't touch you, not when you've built yourself on fire, pressure, and purpose. You've come too far to stop now, and the climb has only just begun. You're not here for comfort, you're here for conquest. The kind of success that leaves a mark, that makes them wonder how they missed it, that forces them to whisper your name in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Let them doubt, let them talk. You've got work to do, work that speaks louder than opinions, work that can't be denied, delayed, or destroyed. They rejected you because they couldn't see the vision, but you did, and that's all that matters. Because vision backed by action becomes reality, and you've already taken the hits, survived the silence, felt the sting of being overlooked, and instead of folding, you doubled down, you outworked, you outlasted. Now you're outpacing, outshining, outgrowing everything they thought you were. You are the storm they didn't see coming. Not emotional, not reactive, focused, calm, precise. That's what separates you. You don't need noise to win. You just need discipline, fire, and time. And the best part, you're still hungry, still evolving, still getting sharper every single day. Because once you've turned rejection into revenge, you realize the mission is bigger than proving anyone wrong. It's about proving yourself right. About honoring the grind, the pain, the lonely nights when no one believed, except you. Now, you don't just carry ambition, you carry history. Every rejection you've endured is written in your blood. Every failure is engraved in your focus. They thought they were stopping you. What they really did was forge you into something colder, sharper, uncheckable, you've become the type of man who doesn't just survive the storm, he is the storm. You walk into rooms now with a presence, because there's power in pain you've processed. There's weight behind wins you earned the hard way, and the world can feel it. That pressure, you wear it like armor. That rejection, it's now part of your foundation. Strong, brutal, unbreakable. You didn't get soft. You got strategic. You didn't cry. You calculated. Because now, it's not about validation. It's about domination. Elevating so far beyond the noise, they have no choice but to watch in silence as you turn everything they said you couldn't do into everything you were born to do, and you're just getting started, because now you're moving with precision. No wasted motion, no wasted words. Everything you do has weight behind it, because you've been through what most men run from. You didn't skip the pain, you used it. You leaned into the fire and let it forge you into someone lethal, not just in ambition, but in execution. You're no longer chasing approval, you've become the standard. You're no longer trying to be seen, you're the one they're watching. Every rejection that once felt like a setback, it was really setting the stage. Not for a comeback, but for a complete takeover. They tried to bury you, they didn't know you were a seed. Now you've rooted in discipline, watered with hunger, and grown into something they can't stop. And here's the twist, now that you're winning, they'll act like they always believed in you. They'll come around, shake your hand, smile for the photo, but you'll never forget who left when you needed belief the most. Let that remind you, this path is yours. This empire is yours, and nobody gave it to you. You took it. So keep your head down and your fire lit, because the game isn't over. You're not done building. You're not done rising. You've just stepped into your real power, and from here, there's no ceiling. You've outgrown the doubt, you've buried the fear. And now, every move you make is with intention. No guessing, no hoping, just knowing that your pain had a purpose. Knowing that every no carved out a sharper yes inside of you. Knowing that rejection was never a reflection of your worth, it was a challenge to rise above the noise, and you did. Not once, not twice, but every time they tried to count you out, you multiplied. Now, you don't chase revenge. You carry it, in your eyes, in your posture. In every calculated step forward, you walk like someone who's been through hell, and came back owning it. That's power, not borrowed, not fake, earned, because you didn't just survive rejection. You rewrote what it meant. You made it your edge, your advantage, your weapon, and the ones who said no to you, they'll have to sit front row and watch you become everything they couldn't see. So keep going, keep pressing forward, because the further you climb, the quieter the doubters get. And when you reach that place where the world finally sees what you always knew, don't stop, don't settle, because real revenge is never just reaching the top. It's staying there, uncheckable, untouchable, unmatched. It's building a life so powerful, they regret ever shutting that door on you. Not because you rubbed it in their face, but because they now see what they let slip through their fingers. Let them sit with that, while you keep building, keep winning, keep mastering the craft they once doubted you could handle, because this game, it rewards those who keep showing up long after the applause fades. It belongs to the men who turn silence into strategy, loss into leverage, rejection into results. You didn't just take the pain, you owned it. You turned every crack in your armor into reinforcement, every scar became a lesson, every closed door became redirection to something bigger. Now look at you, not broken, not bitter, built. You speak less now, because you don't have to explain power when you embody it. You don't announce success when you live in it. And you don't chase revenge when you've already surpassed it. You are the revenge. Your life, your discipline, your presence, that's the payback. So stay locked in, stay cold, stay focused, because the mission isn't just about proving the past wrong. It's about building a future so big, it swallows every doubt, every hater, every limit they ever tried to put on you. You're not here to meet expectations. You're here to shatter them. To redefine what's possible, not just for yourself, but for every silent warrior watching from the sidelines, waiting for a sign that it's possible to rise from nothing. You're that sign, the blueprint, the evidence that rejection, in the end, it's the ignition, because when they tried to bury you, they forgot that pressure doesn't just crush, it creates diamonds, leaders, legends, and you. You didn't fold, you forged, in the dark, in the silence. When nobody was watching, now you're a force, calm, dangerous, disciplined, and the world has no choice but to pay attention. But don't get comfortable. Don't start celebrating too early, because the higher you rise, the harder they'll try to pull you down. That's fine. Let them. You didn't come this far to fall back. You came to own the space they told you didn't belong in. And the most savage part, you're not even in top form yet you're still evolving. Still sharpening the blade. Still building in silence while they wait for signs of weakness. But weakness isn't in your DNA anymore. Not after what you've survived. Not after what you've turned rejection into. This version of you, disciplined, clear, unapologetically driven, is just the beginning. Because real power isn't loud, it's quiet. It moves through rooms with presence, not permission. It doesn't demand attention. It commands it, and that's who you've become. A man who doesn't chase opportunity, he creates it. A man who doesn't just react to setbacks, he turns them into strategy. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them question why you never quit. Let them watch you rise, silently haunted by the fact that they gave up too soon, while you kept pushing, with nothing but pain in your chest and purpose in your eyes. Every step now is calculated. Every move is built on discipline. Every goal is bigger, clearer, and backed by something more powerful than motivation, conviction. You know what you're here to do. You know what they tried to stop. And now, it's too late to doubt you. Too late to block you. Too late to ignore you. Because what's coming next will make everything before it look like warm-up. You've been patient. You've taken the hits. You've rebuilt in silence. Now you're entering a phase where results speak so loud, you won't have to. The grind doesn't stop here. It multiplies. The discipline gets tighter. The vision gets sharper, because now, you're not just building for validation, you're building for legacy. And legacies aren't handed out. They're earned in the dark, forged in the fire of rejection. Built by men who kept moving when others broke. You don't fear the pressure anymore. You embrace it, because you know pressure is a privilege. It means you're playing at a higher level now, and you're ready for it. While they waste time talking, you're investing time winning. While they pose, pretend, you execute, ruthlessly, quietly, relentlessly. This next season of your life, it's not about proving anything. It's about collecting everything that was once out of reach. Not because it defines you, but because you've earned it. The rejection turns into every doubt, every whisper behind your back, reminders, and as you keep climbing, as the silence turns to success, and you'll carry it all with you not as baggage, but as fuel. Every no, every closed door, every smirk, it becomes the fire under your feet, pushing you through the days when motivation fades and only discipline remains. You won't need their approval, you'll have results. You won't need their support, you've built structure. And you won't need their recognition, because your life will be the proof. Understand this, you are no longer reacting, you are orchestrating. Every move is intentional, every hour is accounted for. You've eliminated distractions, silenced excuses, overlooked, and laughed at, and replaced emotion with execution, because now it's personal. It's not about revenge on them, it's about redemption for you. You owe it to the man you used to be, the one who stayed up wondering if he was enough, the one who got rejected, the one who didn't quit. He paid the price, you cashed the reward. But remember, success is rented, not owned, and rent is due every damn day. So don't get soft, don't get satisfied. You've got more to build, more to prove to yourself. Because this version of you, he's dangerous, he's disciplined, and he's just getting warmed up, because the fire that built you doesn't burn out, it spreads. It touches every part of your life now, your mindset, your routine, your habits. Everything you touch bears the mark of a man who refused to fold. This isn't motivation, this is identity. You've become someone who doesn't wait to be chosen, you choose yourself, every single day, and the world. It's starting to feel it, not because you're louder, but because you're more dangerous in silence, more effective with less, more committed without clout. Now when you enter a room, you don't need to say a word. Your presence speaks volumes. It says, I've been through the fire, and I brought it with me. You don't celebrate too early. You don't slow down when it gets easy, because nothing about you was built easy. You suffered, you sacrificed, and now you walk with the discipline of a man who's earned his scars. So stay sharp, stay ruthless with your time, keep cutting off what weakens you. Keep surrounding yourself with pressure, because pressure keeps you real, pressure keeps you hungry. And hunger is what separates the ones who peak from the ones who take over. So ask yourself, are you still hungry? Or did you get soft with a little success? Did you start to slow down once they started clapping? Because here's the truth, applause is a trap, validation is a drug. And most men get addicted before they even scratch the surface of their potential. Not you. You didn't come this far to plateau. You came to dominate. You didn't rise from rejection, thus to settle in comfort. You rose to conquer the space that once rejected you, and now that you're in, now that the gate is open, you walk through like you built the damn door. Let others be content with status. You're after substance. Let others chase clout. You're chasing control, control of your mind, your time, your habits, your future. You don't ask what if anymore. You decide. You do. You deliver. Every morning you wake up now. It's war, not against others, against the weaker version of yourself trying to creep back in. The one that used to make excuses, the one that used to fold under pressure. You don't negotiate with him anymore. You silence him with action. Because now, you're not just building a life, you're building a legacy. And legacies aren't written with feelings, they're written with fire, discipline, and execution. So the only question left is, can you keep the fire alive when no one's watching? Can you stay locked in when the noise dies down, when the room's empty, when no one's clapping anymore? Because that's the test. Not how hard you work when you're inspired, but how hard you work when you're tired. When it's boring, when it's lonely, when it feels like it's all uphill and no one's coming to save you. That's where real killers are made. In the silence, in the repetition, in the grind that breaks average men but builds legends. This is what you signed up for, a war with weakness, a daily battle against comfort, and the understanding that greatness is not an event, it's a lifestyle. You've already proved you can rise from rejection. Now prove you can sustain it day in, day out, no shortcuts, no excuses, because when the world tries to hand you another no, you won't even flinch, you've heard it all before. And you turned every one of those no's into bricks. Bricks that built the mindset, built the discipline, built the beast you are now. So stack the next brick, take the next step. Sharpen the edge one more time. Because this path doesn't end with success. It starts there, that's the cold truth most won't understand. The real work begins, there's no excuse. Success isn't the summit, it's the starting line. Once you taste it, because now, no more hiding behind potential, no more blaming the past. You've got the tools, you've got the momentum. Now it's on you to push further than you ever thought possible. Complacency is the new enemy, and it's sneaky. It shows up in small compromises, in skipped reps and late starts, and in settling for good enough. But good enough isn't in your vocabulary anymore. Not after what you've built, not after what you've endured. You didn't bleed for this just to coast. You didn't rise from the bottom to blend in at the top. You're here to dominate every room you walk into, to raise the bar so high, even your past self wouldn't recognize you. Because now it's about scaling your mindset. scaling your influence, scaling your results, so that the gap between you and the version of you they rejected is so wide, they can't even speak your name without swallowing pride. And as you keep climbing, as you keep showing the world what rejection really creates, you become something far more dangerous than they ever expected. You become undeniable, not because you shouted the loudest, but because you moved the smartest. Not because you fought for attention, but because your growth made it impossible to ignore you. That's the kind of power no one can take from you, not luck, not hype, not a trend. Just relentless, earned, uncheckable power, the kind that comes from late nights no one saw. The kind built from pain you never posted, from discipline they'll never understand. Because most people only commit until it hurts. You committed until it changed you, and that's the edge. That's the difference between those who visit success and those who own it. So keep your circle tight, keep your focus tighter, stay humble, but stay dangerous, because the more you grow, the more pressure you'll feel. But that's the cost of evolution, and you were built for it. Every time they counted you out, you built yourself deeper, harder, wiser. You are living proof that rejection was never your weakness. It was your weapon, and now that weapon's loaded.